45 seconds and counting. 45 seconds to launch.
ET helium inject, Delta P number 2.
Standing by for the handoff.
For LTC ETO3. We're go. Copy.
And the handoff has occurred. Ground launch sequencer has handed off to Atlantis' onboard computers. 25 seconds.
Yes, sir.
South suppression water system is activated. 15 seconds and counting. T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7. Main engine start. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and liftoff of Space Shuttle Atlantis. Assemble the report for the science laboratories of tomorrow. Houston now control. Electricity-producing fuel cells also in excellent shape as Atlantis heads downrange, 18 miles from the Kennedy Space Center at an altitude of 18 miles. The next event is burnout and separation of the twin solid rocket boosters, which are burning propellant at a rate of 11,000 pounds per second. Atlantis is traveling 3,000 miles per hour, downrange from the Kennedy Space Center 46 miles, altitude 35 miles. Ignition of the twin orbital maneuvering system engines on the tail of the orbiter, providing an additional boost toward ascent and heading off toward the International Space Station. Two minutes, 45 seconds into the
Sam,
flight.
in a moment, we're going to hear the different decisions being made about whether or not they would have to abort and to where they would go if they have to abort in terms of returning to site. Okay, two-engine towel means.
They lost one main engine.
In the event of a single engine failure, however, all three engines are continuing to perform as expected. Balance system's in excellent shape, as are the fuel cells producing the electricity.
Now, for about the next 40 seconds, they could still come back here to Kennedy Space Center for a return to launch site if that became necessary.
So once they reach a little more than 3,800 miles per hour, they can't do it.
5,300 miles an hour, and
5,300
at that point,
yeah.
no, they're no longer capable of coming back.
Those calculations depend on distance, velocity.
That's right. They're looking at a downrange distance and also the velocity at the point that they reach that downrange distance. And of course, those are going to be a variable. We know where that is roughly, but again, it's going to be a variable depending on the performance of the boosters, the performance of the main engines for the atmospheric condition of the day.
Atlantis, negative return.
Now there's your negative return call. So at this point, if they had to do an abort, they would go to a transatlantic abort site, or more preferably, they would abort to orbit, which is a much more stable abort mode.
that did happen on one mission. They could get into orbit. They had a sensor telling them of a problem in one of the main engines.
Right, that main engine cutoff sensor. They had two failed sensors. So once they had two invalid sensors, the engine shut itself down prematurely. Well, as a precautionary measure. Now, what happened? What we changed after that flight was that if you had one of those sensors fail, we inhibit the shutdown.
That comms assist should wrap up in the next 15 seconds.